something you want to do because you want to change the pace?
Jedi. I just wanted to say that.
It's different for every person. Not every actor has aspirations of becoming an ADR director, and not every ADR director was an actor. At Funimation, it's about half and half, folks who were voice actors and then became directors, and the other half are engineers first who become directors. Or high school acting teachers. Who's that? Maybe. I don't remember. So for me, I've been at Funimation about a year, and I really loved anime and was loving just the family feel of the company and wanted to be able to do more, because honestly, you can only do as much as work as often as you get cast. And I knew I was competing against a lot of really talented folks. So I thought, how can I be involved in the company more? And I had to kind of go and ask questions. Do you think I would be a good candidate to be an ADR director? What kind of training is necessary? And basically Justin Cook said, yeah, you could do it. I think you'd be great. Go train with all of these directors on your own time for no money. And so I did. And then I guess people they started, usually when you begin ADR directing work at Funimation, you'll start filling in for people. You know, I'm here at a convention, I need someone to direct the show for me while I'm gone, so you hire a sub. So for about 6 months to a year, that's what I did. I just did fill-in work until the right show came along, and they said, you've been putting in time, here's a Suzuka, and there you go.
Cool. So when you were training, were you watching and shutting up, or did you get to ask? Or?
I could totally ask questions, but the main thing, it was a lot of memorizing and studying the styles of all the directors, because when you do sub work, it needs to look like the director was never gone. Yeah. So maybe I would fill every tiny, minuscule little flap if it were my show, whereas this director is cooler with glossing over those internal flaps, or they like this type of reaction to be this way or that way. And so there's a lot of learning everybody's techniques. And then once I got my own show, I got to make my own, which was cool.
Yeah, your own style.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah. Cheeks.
Have you ever had to work with really crappy voice actors?
I've had the pleasure of working with some people that had less experience.
Very professionally put.
Exactly. People that will never come to a convention, so whatever. I'm not going to say anything, of course, but yeah. Crappy is such a general and base term. I think some people aren't always, what they get cast in, which isn't always your say, isn't their strong suit necessarily, and it's tricky. And, but I don't really, when you're in the set in this situation in the studio, I don't really think about their level of ability, just like how we're going to get to this part. It's a puzzle especially when you're directing this piece and this piece and this piece and this piece, and then they'll have to string together separately. And actually, it's really fun if you like puzzles and Sudoku and crosswords and stuff, which I do. Yeah, sometimes it's harder. And I think my attitude about all the work has always been, oh gosh, not to sound bouncy, but Hamlet's advice to the actors, the players in the end of Hamlet, which is the place and thing. I've never had an issue where someone's ego has really been an issue. I've never brought my ego into a session. It's all like, how are we going to get there? Like, oh, do it. Like, I feel like there's almost no difference between the actor and the director in most of the sessions that I do. We're like, oh, we could do this. Hey, here's an idea. And we're both suggesting things, and we're both getting there. They're just the ones talking, and I'm hitting the go button. But yeah, some people, and there are people at different levels. And my studio likes to bring in people that haven't done it all the time before. When I started, I didn't know all the people who were the usual suspects in New York. So I had a handful, like Lisa Ortiz, Rachel Lillis, Veronica Taylor, and then I needed to fill in the ranks for other stuff, like when I did Berserk. I don't. Maybe not autographs so much. Maybe for a second after this panel. Sorry.
Okay. Just so everybody heard that, there's no autographs from these people. They have other things that they need done. So this is just Q&A. So if you were here for an autograph, they're not giving them. Good deal? Good deal.
Oh, so yeah, so some people aren't as experienced. That's what I was going to say. Okay, that's kind of my answer.
Yeah, I would have said like more of the same, so I won't repeat. Orange pants.
I was just wondering if you've ever caught yourself dropping the double D word in your everyday life.
No, I don't drop the double damn it in my day-to-day life because it kills baby angels when you swear. So I don't do it. It's from Future Breath.
I thought that was like a Back to the Future reference. Damn! Damn, damn! Damn, where's that one?
That actually is a double.
Someone else there? Who hasn't asked a question? Gray sleeve. Is it gray? Is it white? Is it you? Yes, you.
I wanted to ask a question about the director, being a director at the foundation as well. When you're choosing voices, do you like to choose people? Is it more so the people that you have there prior, or can people audition for roles like that haven't been working for foundation?
It just depends on the project and the amount of time we have to complete it. You never know what's going to happen with negotiating to get a property. Like, they may have already set the release date and the ink is still wet from like acquiring it and scripts aren't written. So sometimes when things have to go very quickly in the interest of time, we'll still have auditions, but it will be within kind of the company. It feels a lot like the way old movie studios used to be, like in the 40s and 50s and earlier. Like, these actors work for MGM and these actors work for Paramount, and that's kind of how it works sometimes. So you will cast from within people who already work there. And then there are times when, you know, we've heard a million shows with Travis, Laura, and Caitlin, so we need some new folks. And in those situations, we'll call the agencies and ask for people that we haven't heard before, you know, and within a certain age range usually. And then the next thing we do is we'll ask other actors who already work there, do you know people that you think would be good at this job? And we'll call them in to audition. There's also a list, I will say, but we don't have, what do they call it, the big audition? Yeah, like a cattle call audition, where folks just, we get a lot of email submissions of voice demos and things like that. Some people have agents, some people don't. Their names basically get added to a list, and when we have the time, which isn't often, I think we've had one like cattle call audition in the last 2 years, where they'll find a director who's free and say, you have this studio for 4 hours a night, 5 nights this week, here's some new people, and see what we get out of it. And out of that, maybe we'll hear 300 folks and keep 5 if we're lucky. So it's a really, it's a hard thing to break into. But yes, we do hear, you know, I guess outside people, for lack of a better term. Don't take their money.
Okay. Read something in the back that you're holding a baton. Pass the torch.
Do you get to choose what characters you like play as? Or
No.
By your voice?
Oh no.
Oh, you get to choose?